the storytelling world, there's always this debate, you break the fourth wall. And in 3D, do you want people reaching for a snowflake? And a lot of people will say you don't, because you want them in the story, you don't want to break the fourth wall. Well, what I say to that is, the truth is when you're watching a movie, you do actually fall in and out of the story many, many times. Someone eats popcorn beside you, you hear that, or you cry and you wipe a tear away. You're actually dropping out of the story momentarily. So you do actually pop in and out, your mind wanders, something reminds you of something. And I think that filmmakers often are, hold that out as something they never want to do. But we do break the fourth wall constantly in cinema, and in 3D, I'm less concerned. I think in Avatar, if there was more off-screen and people were reaching for those little, fluffy floating things, that would have been fine for me, because frankly, I thought people were looking around anyway, and I didn't think it distracted from the experience at all.
It's important to remember that 3D is not a new thing. Production is not a new thing in Canada. We've been making 3D IMAX films since the 1980s, and those films are almost all in front of the screen. So it's a very different kind of aesthetic, but also these films are actually very successful. Films like Into the Deep, Canadian-produced Space Station 3D, we're talking about box office grosses of something like $50 million.
80 for Into the Deep.
Yeah, 80 for, yeah. Right, thank you, Jonathan. And I won't mention any of your numbers, but yeah, this like Jonathan Barkley. Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. So I mean, there's a pool of talent and experience that exists in Canada for 3D production that's been around for a long time and very successfully. And sorry to talk about money, but this is actually a meeting of producers, and in fact this success story has existed kind of completely outside of traditional Canadian film and television production. And I think it's kind of interesting to see there's starting to be a kind of a convergence between that IMAX film production world and regular film and television, because let's face it, what's happening is 3D TV is coming, and there's going to be 3D networks in Japan, in the States, in the UK. What's going to happen in Canada? I think that's actually a very interesting question. In the States, it's one of the partnerships between Discovery and IMAX Corporation. A Canadian corporation is broadcasting in the United States. What's going to happen here?
Well, maybe that's a good occasion for transitioning into talking about 3D for the small screen or for television. Maybe you should just, well, maybe Neil would like to comment on that. You were going to talk about its relationship to gaming.
Yes. Well, would it be okay if I showed a few slides? And okay, so what we did about a year ago was there was a lot of excitement about 3D in the home. A lot of technology vendors wanted to push 3D in the home. However, there weren't any studies of what consumers want in the home and how they want it. So what we did, I run a company called Meant to Be Seen, or MTBS-3D.com, and we have a very large consumer audience of stereoscopic 3D gamers. And we wanted to do a study of what traditional 2D gamers think and what experienced stereoscopic 3D gamers think of 3D and where it best fits. We also wanted to talk about glasses, because one of the biggest objections we hear, or the stereoscopic 3D industry hears, is that consumers won't wear 3D glasses. So we wanted to know really, what do consumers think? So MTBS has an existing 3D community, but we needed to appeal to traditional 2D gamers as well. So we strategically partnered with AMD, who makes graphics cards and CPUs, Blitz Game Studios, a leading game developer, game creators, Guild Software, additional game developers as well, IC3D, who makes 3D monitors, and of course MTBS, which was my company. And we called the initiative the You Decide Initiative. Now, it was done as two separate surveys. One survey to be completed by experienced stereoscopic 3D gamers who actually own 3D equipment for themselves, and a separate survey for traditional 2D gamers who don't actually own the 3D equipment. In total, there were about 714 respondents, 60-40 split with the favor of inexperienced 2D gamers, which is really what we wanted. Now, what was the willingness to wear 3D glasses according to content type? And this is for traditional 2D gamers, people who don't actually own the 3D equipment of their own. The top three look impressive, but it's the bottom three bars that are most important. For video games, only 12% of the 2D gamers objected to wearing 3D glasses. That climbed a little bit to 16% for Blu-ray or 3D movies in the home. And the biggest jump happened for traditional broadcast television at nearly 30% or 28%. Now, if we look at experienced stereoscopic 3D gamers, what's interesting is they're significantly more forgiving. They have actual experience with the equipment, but the proportions are very similar. Video games, 3%, Blu-ray, 4%, and traditional broadcast television, 12%. So according to the type of content will help define the success of glasses in the home. But any way you look at it, it's still a minority of the consumers that really object to them. Now, what content is most likely to be successful in the home according to consumers? According to traditional 2D gamers, again, people who don't actually own the equipment, 87% for video games, Blu-ray movies, 77%, sporting events, surprisingly 24%. We anticipated this to be higher, but it actually was 24%, and traditional broadcast television, 14%. For stereoscopic 3D gamers, experienced gamers, similar proportions again. 96% for video games, 87% for Blu-ray, 37% for sporting events, and 25% for traditional broadcast. Now, in my opinion, these are new types of content. Sporting events and 3D are a very recent phenomenon. So when people start to see what can be delivered in stereoscopic 3D and actually experience it for themselves, we anticipate a lot of these numbers to go up. But at the time of study, these are the results we had to work with from consumers themselves. Now, should game developers officially support stereoscopic 3D gaming? This is very interesting. According to traditional 2D gamers, 93% say yes, 99% of experienced 3D gamers, so we're giving that 1% margin of error because they already have the equipment and they're already gaming. But nonetheless, I think the results are very positive and a lot of myths were broken by the study. So I hope that answered the question.
I get that question all the time. People say, the obstacle to the 3D in the home is the glasses. And nobody wants to wear, critics seem to perceive that nobody wants to wear glasses at home while they're watching TV. And I say, well, I wear glasses every day when I watch TV. I don't see what the obstacle is. I go to the beach, I wear sunglasses for 10 hours. Not that I'm a tanning guy, but I don't see an obstacle to wearing glasses for 10, 12 hours a day. I do it every day. And I lie on the sofa and I fall asleep in front of the TV with my glasses on. I don't see what the issue is. There's a lot of people who wear glasses all day, and putting on glasses to watch TV is not going to be an issue.
Two comments. One, there is a technology coming out where you won't need glasses to watch TV, and it's going to be an LCD, and it goes by a couple different terms. There's no set standard for it. Auto stereoscopic, direct 3D, whatever you want to call it, but it's a 3D that's a form that really can only show depth. It can't come out off the screen. And that's where glasses come into play. With glasses, you can have that image or that item or whatever it is you're trying to portray to that customer come off the screen. So now talking about the direct 3D, the TVs, I think they're going to be great for signage. So you'll be walking down the street and there'll be a 3D TV showing something rotating and you can see the depth. But when it comes to home, definitely going to need glasses to see that sports or that soccer ball come flying off the screen at you, or that football flying down and you feel like you're on the field. And the other thing is I don't know if 3D is appropriate for everything. I know my CEO will kill me for saying that, but when I say that is, I don't know if you want to watch the news in 3D, or if you want to watch Wheel of Fortune or something along those lines. But definitely sports, gaming, movies. So there's a lot of things you'll watch 3D on. So I don't think you're going to wear the glasses all the time.